I want to say happy Halloween because we have Halloween coming up this Friday. I can't believe it's already one of my favorite times of the year. So I hope all of you are already set with your Halloween costumes and your parties. And if you have young children, you know where you're going to be taking them trick-or-treating because it's going to be fun times this coming week. I just love Halloween. Great time of the year. And I also am wishing you a happy Thanksgiving because this is really, it's our October psychic hour, but I'm really going to be telling you about a whole lot of things going on in November because we're, of course, at the very end of October when we do our psychic hour. So we're celebrating 2 months tonight. So happy Thanksgiving and happy Halloween, folks. I'm really, really happy to see so many of you here. I know everybody's been super stressed and has got all kinds of things going on, and the world is moving so fast, and there's all kinds of things going on to keep up with everywhere. And of course, everybody's worried about their finances and the holidays coming and getting everything all set up. So with all this stuff going on, folks, I am delighted to see so many of you here, giving me an hour out of your Sunday night to spend with me. And my guys and I are going to do the very best we can to both entertain you and also answer your psychic questions that might be hanging out in the ethers around you right now. And so as we get started, let me just go over some of, I call them my housekeeping things. So this way we can make sure that all this is out of the way and then I can focus on your questions. Let me just also give you a reminder. I'm seeing most of the people who are on this evening are people that have been with me for years and years, so you guys already know about this, but there are 1 or 2 new people here. So this really is more for the benefit of the new people, but it's a refresher for the ones who've been with me for a long time as well. Folks, if you send me an email question by tomorrow night, if I didn't get to answer your question on the session tonight, I will be glad to answer your simple question via email, and give me about 2 weeks before I get through all those questions because I do get a lot of them. Now, that has to reach me before 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. And whether you ask your question here online tonight out loud, and remember, don't ask anything super personal because this does get posted on the social networks, okay? Here are the things I want to know from you, whether you ask that question tonight online or whether you ask that question via an email after the fact. I want to know your simple first name. Okay, if you're here tonight, no last names. We don't want to identify you. I want to know where you're from. That's always fun. I want to know what you're most grateful for in your life right now. And I also want to know your sun sign. And if you don't know your sun sign, your birthday will be just as good for me. But I want to know one of those because armed with your sun sign, I can give a whole lot of information from this chart you see on the screen about what's going on in your life right now. And then finally, I want your simple question. And when I say simple question, what I mean is a question that my guides can give a fairly specific answer to. If you ask me, is my life going to be happy? Well, my guides really can't answer that. They can say no, because everybody's life has ups and downs, right? So that's the kind of thing that requires a whole reading, not just a cut and dried answer. So if you're going to email me a question, or even if you ask the questions online, think about them first. Think about your question. And you want to make your question succinct enough that me and my guides are going to be able to give you an answer that you're going to make sense out of, okay? So before we get going, I want to talk about my housekeeping things that are going on in Sandyland. First off, you all know my website. It's www.sandyanastasi.com. You're going to see when you go there are some changes. Most of my videos, I still have my whole newsletter, but I'm no longer putting the whole newsletter online. The only thing that is going out to all of my people via email are my things that I'm presenting all month long, my specials. Everything else is going to be on my YouTube channel. which I really forgot and I need to write down here. But my YouTube channel is Sandy Anastasi 25. Okay, so that's where you're going to find me, Sandy Anastasi 25 on YouTube. Okay, and go to my regular website to look at all my programs and to sign up for my psychic hour and to talk in the open forum with one another, because that is something which you can do. It's free for you to do. Once you sign up for my newsletter, you have full access to my site. I still have all my free stuff. I still have all my advertising and my events. So all that is still there on the newsletter. I'm just not archiving all of the items up there anymore. Okay, so my what's coming, folks, in 2026 webinar. Oh, this is big. It's only $50, which is a real steal for what this is. Anybody who's attended it before knows that. It's going to be on November 6th at 7 p.m. I'll go into it a little more when I get to the other side of the screen and we're talking about what's coming up. But just write it on your calendar. And if you haven't registered for it yet, and you even have the slightest interest, make sure you get registered. Because that webinar does fill up. It's already got dozens of people registered for it. Okay, so you want to definitely make sure that you get in on that as quickly as possible. VIPs, if you're here tonight, please make a note. Your next coaching call is coming up next month. It's November 13th, 7 p.m. Switching over to the other side of the screen, the specials that are coming up this month. We still have 5 more days of October, so I'm including the October specials here again. My reading special is about vampires in your life. How appropriate is that for Halloween, right? And by the way, those vampires aren't always people. Sometimes it's people. I think for most of us these days it's people. But it could also be your job. It could be a particular responsibility that you have in life. It's interesting how my guides and I, when we look at your astrology chart and from the cards, we can really focus on what is the thing that's vamping your energy, okay? And once we can identify that, we can also give you some really good variables, a couple of different ways that you can deal with that so that you are no longer losing energy to whatever it is that's vamping your energy. That reading's $350, and it comes with a bonus. The bonus is Dark Forces. That's a video webinar. It's fully downloadable. Lisa's going to send you the link to it. And so you will actually own it. The only way you can get that Dark Forces webinar, if it's not October or November and you're not connecting directly with Lisa, is to buy my Evolution workshop series, okay? And that workshop series, I think, goes for over $200. So this is a real steal to be able to get that for free as a bonus when you get that reading. So my second special for October was my After Death 2-part reading, and that's $550. Folks, that's $100 off of that reading. So that's nothing to sneeze at. It's the only time during the year that I offer that graded discount on that. If you have lost somebody and you're having difficulty with that loss, understanding what happened, or can't get them out of your head, you know, where are they, what's going on with them, how do you still connect with them yourself? If you know somebody who's going through a lot of difficulty with their grief process, this reading is perfect for that person. And since it's so close to Halloween, it's very frequently the situation that those people actually come through themselves directly during the reading, and that happens. Now, my fourth special is also an after-death reading. It's a shorter version of the 2-part reading. It's only one reading, one session, so it's only going to be about half hour to 45 minutes. It's $350, so it's considerably cheaper, and it will be very good for helping that one person to get past their grief, to understand how to get on with life, to understand what happened when they lost that person. It's more about the person who's suffering the loss. The number 3 here, the 2-part reading, that's actually 2 separate readings. That's why it's a 2-part reading. One part talks about the person who died. Where are they now? How did they die? What did they think when they died? How do they feel? And on the other side, what are they doing right now? And how can you still connect with them? Are you still connected? is there that connection? Do you have a soul contract with them? So you see, these two readings are quite different. And just as I've spoken, I'm sure that if you know somebody who needs one of those two readings, you'll know which one they need. Now, I also have, this is big, my year at a glance reading has just come out. I started doing a few of them back in September, but mostly in October, they've just jumped up. And I have a limited number of spots for them, folks. They're $350 for the reading. If you purchase it this month, this means before the end of September, within the next 5 days, you're going to get $50 off of the What's Coming in 2026 webinar, which means you're getting that webinar for free. Okay, so if you want to go to the webinar and you also want a year at a glance reading, please register for that right now and make it work for you. And incidentally, anyone who comes to the What's Happening in 2026 webinar is going to get a recording of the webinar. And so guess what? It's a no-brainer. If you want the YAG reading and you also want the webinar, register, tonight when the call ends. Okay. The sixth thing here is my VIP membership drive. It's continuing. The bonus for registering this month is What's on the Other Side. That's available separately if you wanted to purchase it for $24.50. You'd have to contact Lisa for that because she has a direct link to it. If you're a VIP, you could purchase that for $10. It's the What's on the Other Side webinar. Now, if you either join the VIP membership yourself, or if you're already a member and you bring someone in, you're going to get that webinar included. So there's no cost to you at all for that. Now, finally, my Anastasi'S System of Psychic Development series is going to start January 21st, third week in January. 2026, early enrollment has started, folks, right now, and only for right now. It's important. It's an early enrollment. It's $2,225. Normally, this is a $3,000 class, and we have special payment plans available. So you can contact Lisa and find out how to get those special payment plans, or I think we also have them online, some of them, so you can just check right into that. But if you're wanting to take that class and you're sure you want to take it, make sure you get registered now. And just as a reminder, if you have already taken the series of classes and you're a repeating student, those classes are going to be half price to you. And so that's actually going to be your best discount. But that's provided there's space in the class. So if you think you want to come, get registered for that. Now, looking at my November specials, folks, it's Black Friday all month this November. My YAG readings are continuing all through November, and remember, they're filling up fast. Here's what happens, folks. I've been doing those year at a glance readings for so long. They take your astrology chart combined with the world's astrology chart, the astrology chart for the 2026 year, that is, and it divides your chart up into monthly increments. And so first I give you an overview of what's going on for you in the 2026 year. And then I go through month by month by month, and I give you the highlights of what you're going to be dealing with each month. And if you're somebody who likes to pre-plan, you have certain things that you want to do or that you want to take care of in the 2026 year, this reading can be so incredibly valuable to you. I have people who've been coming back for 15 years, getting that year at a glance reading every single year because it's so effective for them. So this is something, if you think you want it, you've got to get in on it quickly. I only have so many spots available. That's why I'm actually opening it early this year. I used to only open it for January and February, and I just couldn't do all the people that signed up. So now I'm opening it early so that I can get to everybody who wants one, but those spots are going to fill up. Lisa, do you know how far we filled up so far in our year at a glance readings? How many of those spaces are filled? Are we to the end of the year yet, or just through November?
I believe we have one left for this month. I think November is full, so I've already started into January.
Oh my goodness. Okay, they're filling up faster than I thought they were. Folks, you just heard what Lisa said. When we get to February 26th, after that, there will be no more because we're too far into the year. It doesn't make sense for you to get it then. So if you want this reading, it's something you've got to jump on. Again, the year at a glance reading is only $350, and it is something you get a recording of it. Obviously, you're going to be consulting it all year long. So it's the reading that keeps giving. Okay. Now, and by the way, remember, if you get it within the next 5 days, you get that $50 by the end of the month. You get that $50 off. That counts towards your what's coming in 2026 webinar. When we get into November, that bonus is going away, and then you're just going to get your YAG reading with its recording. Now, second special, my VIP membership drive continues, and that is going to continue with the same bonus that what's on the other side video. So nothing is changing there, only that I really hope you join it, because that VIP, anybody who's here who's a VIP can answer this themselves in the chat, worth every cent. It's $20 a month or $197 a year. If you buy the $197 a year, the full membership, that's when you get the bonus video. But even if you only go to $20 a month, it's well worth it. There are over 300, not just classes, courses in the VIP. So if you are somebody who wants to learn about things in metaphysics, tarot, astrology, psychic healing, magic, mysticism, any of those things, psychic development, all of those things and more are in the VIP membership, all on fully downloadable MP3 audio recordings. And so it's just an amazing place to go and learn. My old friend Sharon Lynn Wyatt, who used to have a podcast, she's passed away now. She used to say that there was no better deal anywhere on the planet for anybody who wanted to learn metaphysical topics than my VIP membership. She was really a fan. So I hope that if that's something that is up your alley, that you will go take a look at it. You click the tab on my website and it'll tell you all about it. Okay, the Anastasi'S system of psychic development early enrollment, I already talked about. The best discounts are now. So if you think you want to develop your psychic abilities, folks, that class goes from January through May, the end of May, and it takes you from being a rote beginner, and even if you've got experience, you'll still want those beginning classes because it fills in the blanks. It gives you the best foundation for developing your psychic abilities that you'll ever find anywhere. You have me with you weekly. You also have Lisa with you weekly, and you have people to partner with and to practice with. And at the end, you get a certificate of completion that is worth something, folks, because almost every psychic you know has either studied my system or they've studied with somebody who has studied my system. Okay, it's been out there for so long. It's one of those kingpins in the psychic field. Okay, so I hope I'm going to see you at my January class. It's, again, this bonuses are the best they're ever going to be right now. You're going to get your best deal if you do the early enrollment. Okay, and finally, my What's Coming in 2026 webinar. Again, it's filling up fast. You're going to get the webinar and the recording for $50. I want you to be there, but if you're not there, if something comes up last minute, you're still going to get the recording of it. And guess what? We're going to talk about what's going on in the world. We're going to talk about everything from politics that people are afraid to talk about, to weather changes, to earth changes, to the economy, to finances, we're going to look at it from a world point of view. We're going to look at historically what's happened. We're going to project what's coming in 2026. And we're then going to go in and we're going to look at what's happening for each sun sign for all of those things. And I'm also going to have a question and answer period where you're going to be able to just throw all those questions out, and we're going to be able to really get down deep and dirty and talk about all those things that we need to talk about to get a handle on what's coming in 2026. What should we prepare for? How should we handle it and deal with it? So folks, between that and the YAG reading, oh my God, it's an amazing combination. If you can do both, do it. If you can only do one, do the YAG reading, okay? Or do the webinar. And just if you want to get off easy and get that great overview, it's only $50 and well worth it. Again, it's already filling up. I've got tons and tons of people who come back every year looking to repeat that reading. That's how valuable it is. Now, finally, just a note, my Kabbalah Pathworking cards, you see a few of them here on the chart. Both the physical and the digital deck, they're now for sale on my website. So hopefully you're going to learn the tarot, and even if you don't, you're going to have fun working with my Kabbalah transformation cards. A comment, I have on my free tab on my website all of my Kabbalah Pathworking paths set to music. They're great guided meditations. You can listen to them anytime you want. They're all free. It's on the free tab. And guess what? If you have the deck and you pull the card, you can look at the card, you can go to that path, you can listen to it, and you can learn the card from the path. It's really kind of cool. It's a good combination. Okay, our next psychic hour, please make a note, November 23rd of 2025. So, Lisa, who's our first victim for this evening?
All righty. First person we're going to pick on tonight is Rachel. Rachel, can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear, Rachel. How are you tonight?
Perfect. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I'm going to, after we get started, I'm going to pick one of my transformation cards and see what they are saying for you. Oh boy, look at that. I picked card, because after this, you might want to go over to the website and go on that free tab and listen to the path. It's path 13. And this, I don't know if you can see, this is the card. It's one of those Hindu goddesses, and there you are standing in front getting information. So I don't know if you're channeling right now or if you're just really on your path and feel very solidly on your path right now. And this is also, I have to say, it's a really feminine card. It brings out that feminine part of you very powerfully. And Rachel, where are you calling from?
I am in South Carolina, and I am most grateful for my family, and I am a Cancer.
Okay. Hey, you gave it all to me all at once. That's wonderful. You've been here before, huh?
Yes.
So Cancer is part of the first house in this chart, and it's all of the second house and even 1 degree of the third. So Cancer is really big in this chart. That second house is all about money and finance. So folks, if you're one of the cardinal signs, that means you're a Cancer, a Capricorn, an Aries, or a Libra, you've really got, you've got financial issues on your mind, you've got money, you've got debts on your mind, you've got what's happening with the government and the money from all that, but you've also got things happening going on with your kids and the people that are closest to you that you want the best for them, and you're thinking about relationships. I guess that comes up too with all the holidays ahead of us. And you're also really, really trying to be supportive and gain support of a lot of the friends in your life. So this is a real important time. Watch what I do with my cursor. Here's Cancer, and right now Jupiter is going through Cancer. So it's expanding everything in your life. Be a little concerned about how much you eat, because it could also be expanding your butt, okay? Because Jupiter just has a way of doing that. But it's also expanding your finances. So folks, if you are a cardinal sign, your finances should be on the upswing. Now, on the other side of the chart, in Capricorn, another cardinal sign, we have the moon. And so I can tell you up the kazoo how your finances are going to get better and you're going to feel better about them. But because the moon is also in a cardinal sign, you're still going to worry about it. Okay, so worry all you want, but know that once you get through all the worrying, it's going to be okay. Okay.
Good to hear.
There's also, because of that opposition, there could be either way. It could be money coming to you from a woman, and that could be through an estate or through a lawsuit being settled. But this could also be another woman, like an older person or even a child, who needs to have help, support, perhaps financial support from you. So it's kind of like it goes both ways, So this is definitely a time of that reaching out and helping and gathering together to help each other in your family, folks. if you're Cancer like she is, or also one of the other cardinal signs. And we have here, I'm drawing a grand cross, you see with my cursor. A grand cross says that everything all through November is pulling at you all at the same time in different directions. Okay. So
Okay.
when you're thinking about all the things you can do to earn money and start your own business and make everything happen, and it looks like it's going gangbusters, all of a sudden you hit a brick wall. And if you keep hitting your head against that brick wall, you're not going to get anywhere because it is a brick wall. But if you poke your head up and look around for other opportunities, lo and behold, you're going to find that there may be a friend who's got an opening in their job or needs you to do some part-time work for them, and bang, that fills the bankroll that you need. So that'll go on for a time. Then all of a sudden that comes to a stop. And what happens then, you find all of a sudden, well, that was good that it came to a stop because I need some family time. So then you get all involved with the family and the kids and the holidays, and then that comes to a stop. And go, oh my goodness, oh, another friend needs me. So you see what happens when you have a grand cross is that everybody's pulling on you and wanting you all at the same time, and you cannot fulfill that. But if you put your energy into only one thing and do it as long as it's fulfilling, it'll come to a stop, and then you look for which other option has opened. And then that next option, until it comes to a stop, then you move back to the first, or you go to a third. You see how that's working? Grand crosses are not difficult if you've had them from birth in your chart. But if you haven't, they can be horrible because you don't know how to deal with the energy. So keep in mind, if you get blocked, don't push. Go over and look for an avenue to move forward that's not blocked. And there will be one. It's amazing that as soon as you let go of the thing you're bulldogging, the other option that's second best, or maybe best, who knows, will open. And then when that gets blocked, just let it go on to the next thing. And if you handle that for the month of November, if you're a cardinal sign, again, that's Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries, life is going to go a whole lot smoother than if you keep trying to hit your head against a brick wall. So translating that into something like Thanksgiving dinner, okay? So you're planning Thanksgiving dinner, and you find out that there are like 3 or 4 people who are supposed to be there that simply can't be there. And you're like, oh crap, I invited all these other people, and now I'm stuck making this giant turkey for 2 people. Okay. So what do? You freeze the turkey and you say, let's go out to dinner. And then you have a grand time eating dinner out. And then you find out that those other people who couldn't come can come next week. So you unfreeze the turkey, and next week you have your home-based Thanksgiving. You see how the Grand Cross works? Okay.
Okay.
It works best if you're flexible. So what is your specific question?
Well, that sounds perfect because I've been working on that lately. And I feel like I'm doing well with it. It's good. It's
Yep.
very different for me. My specific question is, I am thinking of changing maybe my career, but maybe, I mean, I think staying in the same field, maybe. I don't know. But I want to know specifically what I need to be looking for that.
Well, I wanted to ask you, first of all, have you been thinking of starting your own business or moving into a career path that you could develop into your own business?
Yes and no. That's terrifying.
Well, yeah, of course it is. You've got a moon over here in Capricorn saying, oh God, I'm so afraid. It's so much easier to work for somebody else and know you're getting that paycheck, until you see all these companies that are either going out of business or not writing paychecks. Okay.
Right, right.
So what's very interesting, during times like we're in right now, people who have a earning capability that is not dependent on a company are really flourishing, you see? So if there is something that you're very good at, that you enjoy, that you've been thinking about doing as an independent contractor, or maybe as a coach or a teacher, or just a piece worker, you may be able to do that and continue your job, but do that on the side, okay? And that might be the foot in the door that helps you to get your own business started. Now, you might ask, why is my cursor flying around? As it happens in astrology, the sign that is most effective in small business is Cancer. And now this is according to statistics. The planetary position that is most commonly held by small business entrepreneurs throughout the United States is Jupiter in Cancer. And look at this, Jupiter is in this chart in Cancer, in the second house, which is your earning potential, and you are a Cancer, okay? So this may very well be that month to flesh out your idea to either do your own little small business on the side, or start to build up something that maybe one day when you retire, you'll be able to do as your own thing. But right now it's just like a hobby that makes money. Or you could even at least flesh it out and have it all written out. This is what I really think I want. Just go through the plans if you can't bring yourself to step out. But honestly, the people I know who are Cancers, who go into their own businesses, are almost always very, very successful. Cancers do wonders with small business. And but they have to get past that fear, because Cancer is also very insecure, especially about money. And so, and that's universal. I don't care if you're a Cancer, you have insecurities about money. So
Right.
you've got to be able to find a way to bridge from the guarantee of the paycheck to the having my own business, which actually could one day produce far more than the paycheck currently does. Now, would that be your significant other supporting you while you build the business? Would that be you doing your business part-time on the side and gradually build it up until one day in the future you make the decision? And that'll be a little scary, but then you would at least have created a bridge to it. Now, if you are just looking to go and change jobs or professions, you may very well be looking right now, and here, we're going to have a lot of things fighting for each other, okay? Because you might want to be in something which allows you to work from home, or work with families, or work with where you can be, working with your family, or from a place where you can access, be accessible to your kids, et cetera, et cetera. At the same time, though, your emotional self is used to being in that corporate situation and having that weekly paycheck, that guarantee, and also has the mental state of working up the ladder in a corporate system, as that being what gets you recognition and makes mommy and daddy love you better. Okay. So
Right.
we have some conflicts here, and I can't resolve those for you. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself. How did I do answering your question, or do you have a more specific one that you want to add to that?
No, you nailed it as always. If I could give you something more specific, should I do something more remote, or should I go into like a teaching situation?
That something more remote's going to work better for you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And that might have
you.
just answered that whole question. I
Yeah.
think.
That's
Okay.
great.
Now
Thank you.
that might not be on a permanent basis, but right now that's probably going to work better.
Okay. That's what I was thinking too.
Okay.
Appreciate
Good
it.
luck to you, and thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
that
much.
great
Yeah.
question.
Thanks.
And Lisa, who's next?
All righty, your second victim for tonight is going to be Elvira. Elvira, can you unmute?
Hi, Sandy.
Hello. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're gonna have to speak into the microphone, because you must have an omnidirectional one. Unless you're right on top of it, we're not hearing you. Your voice kind of is coming in and out. I
Okay.
picked one of my transformation cards for you. It's this one. It's Path 21, which happens, I think, to be one of the prettiest of all the cards. It's the World in the regular tarot deck, and this is my deck. If you go to look at Path 21 in the free tab on my website, you'll be able to go to Path 21 and listen to the meditation on it, and it'll give you some more insights into what that card means the way I read it. Meanwhile, the World means that you might very well be looking to either leave your job or move to a new profession also. Okay, so the World is kind of a graduation card. It's like I want to move forward with things. What sign are you?
I'm a Leo.
Okay, and what are you most grateful for these days?
Um, my little Chihuahua dog and my 3 cats.
Okay, and again, remembering to face the mic when you're talking. Okay, um,
Okay.
that's a lot to be grateful for, especially the cats. Hey, I'm a dog person these days, but I love cats too. Okay, and where are you? You already told me where you were located, but I didn't really hear it.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Wow, cold. You're already cold up there. Oh my.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So,
Can you hear
well,
me okay or?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear you right now. This is good. What you're doing now is good. Okay, the
Okay.
bottom of the chart has 26 Leo on it. So this third house has the first 26 degrees of Leo, and the fourth house has the last 4. So I'm suspecting that this next month is going to have you running around like mad, doing all kinds of prep things, a lot of short distance travel, a lot of involvement with friends and family. And then there's going to be this little tiny boop at the end of the month where all of a sudden there's this big family gathering. And I don't know if you're going or having it, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people around you as we get to probably around the Thanksgiving holiday itself. Now, as a Leo, you're a fixed sign. And I want to show you across the chart, Pluto has just entered Aquarius. That's opposing your sun sign. So folks, if you are a Leo, you're getting a Pluto transit through an opposition that brings in relationships. If you're an Aquarian, you're getting that Pluto transit directly. If you're a Scorpio or if you are a Taurus, you're getting that same energy through a hard aspect where it's going to come from outside but be stumbling blocks along the way. And that transit lasts for 19 years. It's a big one. And if you want to have an insight into how it's going to affect you, you got a window from January 15th of 2025, the beginning of this year, up through April 15th of 2025. So look back at your calendar. What was going on for you? Was it good, bad, indifferent? Because that gave you a window, folks, into your next 19 years. That was big if you're a fixed sign. It was an important time. So if I look at this as that Leo, we have, there are no planets in this chart in Leo, but you're Leo. So you actually are the one planet. So we have a T square that forces the energy out into the 12th house, a little bit into the 11th house. So there's going to be a lot of interaction with friends this month, but also, my friend, a whole lot of introspection. And it's interesting because I see all this conversation and all this stuff. I don't know if it's gossip or if it's all these things that are going on that you're listening to and hearing and reacting to. So it feels like commotion. And I feel like you're seeking to be alone, and you're actually feeling your best when you're in your space alone by yourself with your 3 cats and your dog. Okay. So what is your specific question?
Um, well, before I get into the question, I want to say one thing because it does lead into the question.
Mhm.
But I want to, and I'll try not to cry when I say this because you literally saved my life last year I called in, or I was in the psychic hour last year, November, and I asked you, I had a spinal tap scheduled with a neurologist ordered it, and you said your guides were saying if I get that spinal tap, I would be paralyzed. And which is, I've had you do readings for me before, and you're usually not that dramatic, so I took it seriously. And so I canceled that spinal tap. And just last month, I went to a pretty renowned neurosurgeon, and I told him that I was supposed to get a spinal tap, and then I canceled it, and I brought you up. I said, a psychic told me to cancel it, and guess what he said? He said, I can't believe I'm gonna agree with the psychic. but but he's like, it's a good thing you didn't have that done. He's like, because you have a tethered cord. Your spine did not grow the way it was supposed to. And he said, you are never to ever have a spinal tap. And let's just put it this way, if you would have gotten that done, the consequences, he didn't say I would have been paralyzed, because you know how they are, they get into, they don't want to say specifics, but he was like, the consequences could have been dire.
Wow.
And I just started crying, and I just want to thank you. Thank
Hey,
you
you
so
are very,
much.
very welcome. Thank my guides, because you're right. I'm usually not that direct and blunt, especially not in front of a whole bunch of other people on a public call. So I usually hold my, what can I say? I'm usually a little bit more diplomatic than that. Um,
Yeah.
so for me, for my guides to come through, they must have felt it was very, very important for you to take it that seriously. And I'm glad that you didn't get it. And also, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
So,
thank you so much.
so how was I
So,
doing when I was telling you all this interesting stuff that's happening over this next 19 years? Okay, you constantly looking for alone time and space and not having it, basically.
yeah, I was thinking about what you said, the fixed sign Leo. I mean, my moon is Aquarius and my rising is Scorpio. It's all fixed, you know.
Wow.
So that's
Okay,
like,
now that explains a lot. So it's almost like everything for you is internal, and you're doing a lot of internal work.
yeah,
And this it can't, but at the same time, the world around you is constant chaos, and it's constantly pulling at you. So it's interesting. You've got outer chaos and inner working through things, which is kind of cool. Um, so what's your specific question?
so this neurosurgeon wants me, ironically, to have surgery, not the spinal tap. He said that would have given you paralysis. Well, he didn't say paralysis, but dire consequences. And he thinks, because I have all these bad symptoms, he thinks that if he does, it's called what is it called? A tethered cord release. He wants to, it's my spine is like caught on something, and he wants to make a cut in there and release it. And he said of all the tethered cord procedures, mine is the easiest to do. And I'm 60. He's like, he doesn't think there's any, like he said, the surgery itself is not going to be a big thing. The bigger risk is anytime you're 60 and you have surgery. That's the bigger risk because of my age. But do you and your guide see any negative consequences to me getting the surgery done by him?
We don't see, this is interesting. I do not see, I'm going to show you. When you say negative consequences, the card is inverted. The inversion tells me no negative consequences. And when you were asking about it, I was asking my guides as you were talking, does this look like it could be a good surgery for you? And I got this card, which is the sun. And obviously it's a happy right side up card. And I want to remind you that the Kabbalah transformation card I pulled was this one, which talks about, okay, you've got to take that chance, but there's freedom on the other side of it. And that's what the world says in the regular tarot. So I'm definitely getting that this is, the guy knows what he's talking about. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. It's always a good idea to look at some of the other people who had a surgery with him, especially this kind of surgery. How did it go? And I'm going to tell you, as far as age is concerned, um, my husband, and this is stories, behind his back, but we took him over to Germany about maybe 7 years ago. He is 67 now, just going to be 68. So he would have been 60 when we took him to Germany to have his back operated on. They rebuilt his lower back. They literally put him on a spit, turned him over both directions. He's got a 10-inch scar on his tummy. He's got another 10-inch scar on his back where they opened the whole thing up and went in, took pieces out and put it back in, took all of his insides out, put them on a table next to him, put them all back in. And let me tell you, he's fine.
Wow.
So much for being 60. Okay.
And you went for Germany to do this?
He needed he needed a special disc, and the only place in the world he could find the disc was in Germany. Believe me, it was worth spending life savings to have your life back. you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much. Because my intuition was already telling me that that I should do this.
Yeah. I think your intuition's acting right. It feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good. And I have to tell you, again, I'm glad you shared that, because almost anybody who's had a reading with me knows that I just don't come out that blunt. Okay. I'm always delicate about how I phrase things. When I come that blunt, it's not me. That's my guides. Sometimes they just come straight through and pow. She has to get this way or she won't get it. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you didn't have harm come to you and that you're still doing well right now. And this has to be your decision. But you know that that's going to depend on the future prognosis if you don't have surgery. It's going to depend on, you know, the whole situation with if you are in good physical shape and he has the right, you know, you've investigated him well and you know that he's a doctor who can actually do what, you know, delivery was talking about. You know, so you're going to have to weigh all of these things. And then ultimately, it's your intuition that you make that decision on. But feed your intuition with knowledge first, then make your decision intuitively. Okay?
Got it. That makes sense.
Yep.
Thank you so much. You literally saved my life. You literally kept me from a wheelchair, you and your guide. So thank you.
Yeah, my guys would definitely jump on that because my husband came out of a wheelchair like 30 years ago. And so
Really?
I'm pretty familiar with a lot of these things. Not only that, but my guides get militant about it. So, hey, good luck. Let me know. Let me know how
He
you do.
never
Okay?
talks that dramatic, you know.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome. And Lisa, who's the next person?
Alrighty, our third person tonight is going to be Veronica.
Okay.
Veronica, you unmute?
Hello,
Hi.
Veronica. Hi
Hi,
there.
Sandy. Hi, Lisa. How are you guys doing?
Good. And Veronica, I picked a transformation card for you too. This is card 17. And it's interesting because in my current Kabbalah Pathworking class, we are on this path. This is the one we're doing right now. So I thought it was really appropriate that you picked it for us. Okay. And again, you
Yes.
can listen to the path on the free tab on my website under the Kabbalah Pathworking. It's path 17. And that's really, it's all about waking up. You know, it's about becoming aware of every single aspect of you and how it fits into the life that you're leading. I mean, I could go on and on and on forever with it, but it's a really neat path. It's about the balance of the seasons and the day and the night. It's about the you know, lunar cycles. It goes into all of these nifty things, but it's really ultimately about knowing yourself. So, what's your sun sign and what are you most grateful for?
My sun sign is Scorpio. I have a birthday coming up in a few days.
Happy
And
birthday.
thank you. Thank you. And actually, I'm most grateful for a lot of the things that have been going on in my life lately. That card could not be more relevant. There's been a lot of transformation for me, a lot of healing, and a lot of growth and improvement. So that I really have a lot to be grateful, Sandy. And yeah, I'm so happy.
I'm just
And
between you and the last call. I'm just getting these little chills all over the place. This is really cool.
well, thank you. You know, I did the What's Coming in 2025 webinar that you did last year, and you gave all this feedback of what was coming, and I took copious notes, and I was in the process of thinking about maybe, do I want to start a new business? Do I not? And I went ahead and I did that. And you know, the webinar was kind of in the back of my mind, but not really front and center. And as I've gone back and looked at how things have evolved throughout the year, I mean, my goodness, that webinar was absolutely spot on.
And I'm glad you told me that because I'm gonna just show you this. You already heard what I told our last caller about that hard aspect that the fixed signs are going through. You do not have to T-square that she had, because you only have all your Scorpio planets moving through a square with Pluto, okay? So you do have one hard aspect, but you don't have the whole T-square. So although this 19-year transit is there, it's not going to feel so intense as it would for her. Now, what is neat, though, is that right now you've got a trine from all of these Scorpio planets
Yes.
to the North Node and Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, which are also trining Jupiter in Cancer. So you have a grand trine in the water signs, which makes you, for the month of November, not just very emotional, because water is always emotional, but also super insightful, tremendous psychic ability, tremendous intuition. So when you're feeling something, don't wait, act on it, trust it, okay? So what is it specifically that you're thinking about jumping on right now? Because it feels like your guides are pushing you. Your guides want you to take a step. They want you, especially with this card I pulled, because the Path 17 definitely is about waking up to yourself, and it's about taking that chance.
Well, that's pretty much what I was going to be asking you, because I did finally, I started my business back in July. I launched an online membership, and I've had my founding members, and things have been going great, and the feedback from them has been tremendous. And so next week, actually, after the day after my birthday, I'm actually doing a 5-day workshop that I'm going to be doing online, and I feel it's weird. I'm still trying to develop. I'm flying the plane while I'm building it, kind of a thing, and
That's the
so
best way to do it.
yeah,
You know,
so it's a little bit nerve-wracking to do it that way, but at the same time, I just feel like
let me just share this, because this is so important. A lot of people miss. So many people get hung up, and with any kind of business, if you think you have to have the entire thing completely wrapped up and put a bow put on it before you're ever going to open the door, by the time you open the door, the whole world will have already left, because whatever you've done is obsolete. They don't need it anymore. Okay. The best way to do a business, any kind of a business, is to have a really solid core foundation to open with, which you certainly did, and then to let your clientele tell you which direction to go to build it, to add to it, to make it of value. Do you see?
yeah.
And that's what you're doing. By the way, you have are you a psychic, or are you just using a lot of psychic ability in your business?
I'm using psychic ability in my business. It's actually an art business. I'm a creative person, but I feel very, very in tuned, especially lately.
Because the reason I was asking is you've got ancestors around you, a lot of them, okay, not just one or two. So if you wanted to be a psychic medium, apparently for you, mediumship and art, they go kind of hand in hand, which you may never use, but know it's there, the ability. And here's the thing. All those ancestors are literally jumping up and down. They're doing dances behind you and around you. It's like, okay. I.e., you have an enormous amount of support for what you're doing.
Oh, that's, oh my, I'm tearing up, Sandy. That just that warms my heart, makes me feel so good. Oh, thank you.
And as an artist, you have to trust your intuition in your art, trust it in your business as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And so far you're doing it, the planets involved. Jupiter is going to expand and deliver the goods on what you need financially. It's in the second house of earning capability. You have your Sun, your Mars, your Venus in Scorpio, but it's here in a house that talks about service. And so you're serving your people, you realize, by building what they need, by building the next step as you see the need for the next step. And this way, what you're building has value in the moment. And now it doesn't mean that you can't change it and grow it into from just a membership. I'm not saying just a membership is wonderful, but you may grow it from a membership into several different individual or group coaching programs as well, okay? As you find that there are specific things people want to develop, you see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is something which has the core that has all kinds of capability of growing. It's exciting. And
Yeah.
you have a lot of friends that you're making here. Now, a little caution though, I hate to be this way, but you're a Scorpio, so this isn't the first time this has happened to you. There are people out there who are jealous. There are people, and they could even be somebody in your class, people who maybe tried to do the same thing or something similar, or they feel like they have so much more talent than you. And what I need to tell you, and anybody here on the call who's a Scorpio or a Pisces or a Cancer, don't worry about the envy or the jealousies that are coming up right now. Look at them instead as flattery. Okay? Be flattered that somebody would have envy for you. Don't buy into the jealousy. Don't try and make it up to the person. Don't try and make them feel better. Just be happy that they are admiring your work enough to be jealous of it. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
For you water signs, it's hard to do that. You know, as soon as you get somebody who doesn't like you or who pulls you down or backstabs you or any of those multiple things people in business do, as soon as that happens, you get all upset and you want to throw in the towel and you start trying to deliver the work to that one person and everything else gets screwed up. Don't do it. Okay?
Okay.
Just be flattered and continue to do what you're doing because it's working.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And so just one more thing, just looking at what's happening during this Scorpio season, I also noticed that Mercury goes retrograde, I think on the 9th. And so that also coincides with the last day of my workshop. And so that was one of the things, that was actually one of the reservations that I had about doing this. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, am I screwing up by doing this?
What that tells me, the timing is such that as you are coming to the end of the workshop, you need to throw something else on the tail end. Tell them about the next thing that you're going to be doing, or tell them 3 different plans or 3 different ideas that you have and ask them to take a vote on which one they think they'd rather go to, i.e. put those creative wheels in motion, because that Mercury retrograde says that you're going to be turning something up over these 5 days that show you the next step.
Okay.
And that's the time to introduce the next step as we might be doing this, you see. I also want to share something else just for the heck of it. A lot of people aren't aware of this unless they're esoteric astrologers, but esoterically, Mercury rules Scorpio. So where Mercury is in your natal chart, where it is in tonight's chart, which is right here in Scorpio with Mars, where it is by transit at any given time is important to you, because it's the planet that shows the higher vibration to where you need to be thinking and planning.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you. I think this is going to be wonderful.
Thank you. I'm very excited. And your reading just got me even more excited. So thank you.
Yeah, and I also think, remember, we have a little opposition here between, there's that grand trine in water, and it opposes that little old moon over there in Capricorn, which is moving fast. There's a very good likelihood that there will be somebody, probably a woman in the class, who either wants your mentorship or wants you to do additional work for her, or maybe wants you to come and work for her. Whatever it is, you're going to need to think carefully about that, because that may be something that pulls, it might be great, but it might also pull you off track from your own dreams.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you.
And Lisa, I think we have time for just one more. We're going to run a little bit over time, but that's okay, because I talked kind of a lot tonight at the beginning. I'm excited about so much going on. So who is our next and final person this evening?
All right, that lucky person is going to be Sally. Sally, can you unmute? Hello, Sally.
Sally may have left already. I think
Sally,
we need
did you leave the building?
yeah. Who's the next person after Sally?
And let's see. Excuse me. That would be Kathy.
I got it now. Sorry.
Oh, is this Sally?
It is. How are you?
Okay. Hey, Sally, thank you for not leaving.
Well, I didn't
Good.
leave, but it takes me a while to figure out that I have to go over to my phone and unmute it.
Okay, and Sally, this is the transformation card I picked for you. This is actually not one of the traditional Kabbalah paths. This is called the lightning flash. It's a path I and my guides added to the tree of life path working experience. It's where you bring all the knowledge, all the energy down into the moment and use it here on the physical plane. Wow, that's a big card. So it
Yes,
makes me wonder what's going on in your life that you're going to take everything you know and everything you are and all the people you know, all that wealth of experience, pinpoint it and shoot it out into some project, something that you're getting ready to do. What is your sun sign?
Leo.
Oh, another Leo. So you heard me when I talked about the next 19 years and all that great stuff
I
going on with Leo.
did.
You also heard me when I talked about into Knight's Horary, this throwaway chart. There's a T-square, which is causing you to spend a lot of time with introspection. So what is your specific question?
I have a daughter that is thinking about moving out of the country because of the political uh, chaos that we are in now. And I worry um, about her being so far away.
Is she out of the country right now?
No, but they have bought property.
Where'd they buy it?
Kosovo.
I don't know much about Kosovo, so nothing I can say about that.
Croatia. I get the two confused. It's
Yeah, and of course you're worried about Croatia because Croatia is so close to Russia and all the stuff that's going on.
Yep.
The only thing that I can tell you right now, and you know, my husband in particular is very, very well traveled, and so am I, but him much more than me. And see, we tend, being American citizens, most of us on this call are, we tend to be looking at all the chaos and crazy going on in our own country. What we fail to realize is that the crazy is going on in every country in the world right now. It is not
Amen.
limited here. Okay. Um, you know, my husband being as well traveled as he is, he has scratched his head and thought, is there a better place? And obviously we're still here. Okay. So he's kind of figured, okay, if I'm going to go someplace else, I'm just going to find a different kind of chaos. The bottom line here, from your perspective, is that whether or not you've got peace in your life and in your environment right now in our world really depends on you. Okay. The
Okay.
governments all over the world are in disarray. The financial system's in disarray. We're going through this major evolutionary leap. It's not all bad. It feels bad right now because mankind just doesn't really like change. And here we're changing everything at the same time. And it's scary as heck. And I don't care what country in the world you're living in, it's got that scary feel if you're looking out at all the things that Big Brother or the people in authority are controlling. But if you're looking at your own individual life, if you're looking at your, your backyard, if you're looking at your dogs and your cats, and you're looking at the food on your own shelf that you've been able to earn and put there because you worked hard for it, if you're looking at all of the things in your world and saying, you know, I'm lucky, I'm
Yeah,
grateful for the life
I
I've
am.
created. It doesn't matter if you're living in the US or if you're living in Croatia or if you're living in Africa or Egypt. It's really about what you're finding your center here and building it out around you. Okay. I.e., you're carrying your peaceful home with you. And wherever you go, you're going to create that peaceful home. Tell yourself that with whatever your daughter does, and just know that. Okay. Now, if it were me, knowing, what I know about the world and what my guides have pumped into me about the world and knowing what my husband says, okay, I would be, and you have no control over this. You have to support your daughter's decision, whatever they choose. But if I were reading her, I would be saying to her, her best bet right now would be to table that actual move until after we are on the downside of all this change. Good, you bought the land. This is going to be a great place to have as either your home or your second home. So it's not like it was a waste of money or time, but now in the midst of all this change, it's hard to make all these changes inside of yourself when the world is going through all these changes too. It's hard to keep centered when you're doing that. So, if she was already there, I would have said, great, more power to her, enjoy, just be centered. But because she's making the change, it's going to be a little harder for her to keep that centeredness. Now, is this daughter your first child?
No,
Is she, what is she in the lineup? Second, third?
second.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's your first child. And by the way, your first child could be thinking about making a move too. Got Sagittarius there. She loves to travel.
Yes.
Okay, and your second child is over here. And I can tell you with the Pluto and Aquarius in this house, that country is definitely going to be going through a lot of big changes. And so she will, she might be moving to move away from the chaos in our country and find the chaos in another country is maybe different, but essentially just the same. So realize that might be, if she actually does it, because that's still up in the air, whether she will or not, but that may be one of her life lessons,
Yes.
I
True.
can remember the first time I was ever out of the country, and I went to a third world country, which Croatia is not, thank goodness. But I went to a third world country, and I was absolutely shocked that, they didn't have running water, and they didn't have a regular supermarket. They had, you went in the supermarket and you had a choice of one loaf of bread. Okay, there was one.
Yeah.
It was nice. They had one. So I had culture shock. So your daughter there's no doubt if she makes this change right now, she's going to need that phone to her mom, because she's going to need the support system to help her to stay centered. And she's going to have some culture shock going on. Okay.
Okay.
But she'll survive it. Okay.
She's a strong woman.
Oh, yeah.
But
And it could be, like I said, it could be part of her learning experience. What my experience taught me is that we're not all supposed to be the same. And some places, I know this sounds odd to somebody who's in the US, but here's a little story, and I'm going to end the night because I can go on forever with my stories. But
we love it.
Pardon?
We love your stories.
Thank you. When my husband was thinking of living in Panama, the country of Panama, and we were looking at land, and I thought we were going to, for a while, I thought we were actually going to move there. We looked at a land where we actually got to sit down and talk to a guy who owned a ranch. It was beautiful. It was really pretty. It was nice. And he got to telling us all about how he can't talk to any of his neighbors. They all hate him. And my husband said, why? And he said, well, that dirt road, that 5-mile long dirt road that you were on, that you took to get here? And we both said, yeah. Well, he said, you noticed that there was electric wiring going down that road? And my husband said, yeah. And he said, well, I put that electric wiring in, and I thought I was doing all my neighbors this wonderful service, because these houses that were
Right.
tracks with dirt floors could now have electric. And he said, now none of them will talk to me. All the men hate me, because now their wives aren't cleaning, their kids aren't home. They're not, all they're doing is sitting there in front of their televisions. And they now have lights, so they're up until all hours of the night instead of going to bed when they should. So their time and their body clocks are all off. He said, they all hate me. So the moral of that story is that just because something works for us doesn't mean it works for somebody in another country. And it may be that your daughter is going to need to learn that. Maybe that's why she needs to be a world traveler. We'll see. Keep an open mind. Okay.
Yeah, I try, but I would miss them terribly.
Well,
Yeah.
and will she actually go? I think she will. Okay. And I think she will go. When she commits to something, she commits. I
Yeah.
think she will give it the old college try. I think that you may end up going back and forth a couple of times to see her. Will she stay over there permanently? And if she goes, there's a big if. I don't see her staying in the same place permanently, but I do see her, if she goes, staying out of the US permanently. I don't see her coming back. She could end up traveling to a third place after that. I can't tell you where for sure that is.
Well, I appreciate your time.
You're
I value
welcome.
your love and your commitment, and Lisa's as well. And thank you again.
Much love to you.
Thank you.
Okay, much love. And folks, I'm going to expand that love to everybody who stayed with us on the call. I want you to have a wonderful, happy Halloween holiday and an even happier Thanksgiving. And keep finding that stable, solid center inside of you, because you're the person who can bring peace to your world and your family and your neighborhood just by finding it in yourself and exuding it. That's all that's really needed to change the world. Sounds simple. I know it's not, but it's doable. Good night, everyone. I'll see you next month on the 23rd. Bye-bye.